Let's take a look at the first option we mentioned. That's starting your own home inspection business. This route may feel more natural if you've had some experience running a business of your own in the past. It also may feel really daunting if you've never had experience starting or running a business before. Owning a business might sound sexy, but it's not always the glamorous life outsiders might think it is. However, it can be done, and with enough drive and grit, it can be very rewarding. If you want to start your own business doing home inspections, here's a general overview of the steps you will need to take from the get-go. Keep in mind, each of these steps likely costs money and may vary slightly from state to state. One of the first things to start about is choosing your branding. That includes choosing your business name. You want to make sure it's not already taken. You can search for a lot of that stuff on a state website, looking up local businesses. And then getting a logo. That includes choosing the colors of your brand, and then getting a website and domain. Also, business cards and a uniform are all part of this step. Another thing you'll need to consider is the phone number. You'll want to decide on keeping your personal number or getting a new phone number. If I were starting again, I would definitely avoid using my own personal cell phone number to start the business with. You can get a separate cell phone or get a new phone number from your current carrier, or use another option such as a Google Voice number to get started. You'll also want to consider your business structure. This is basically deciding if your business is going to be a limited liability corporation, that's also known as an LLC, or a sole proprietorship. If you have no idea what those entities are, that's okay. I had to learn when I first started too. This step is worth talking over with a CPA so you can be sure that you're doing the right state-specific requirements. It can cost a few $100s to meet with a CPA, but it can save you a ton of headache in the long run. In the end, we decided to go with an LLC for our business because in our state, it was really easy to start an LLC, and we were able to register all of it online through our state website. There are also some extra liability protections when your LLC is utilized properly. You'll also need to look at your state requirements for your business license. In most states, this will look like going online to register your business with the Department of Licensing. There are annual fees associated with this too, of course. You'll also need to consider getting insurance. Please don't skip this step. Although some states do not require home inspectors to carry insurance, we strongly recommend it. So you could talk with a local insurance broker to help you shop around, or you can go directly to a state-specific insurance company. There's also many of the home inspector associations have connections with insurance companies, so it's also a good thing to consider talking with them to see if they have any deals. There's basically two kinds of coverage you want to consider, and that's general liability and errors and omissions, or E&O insurance. E&O insurance is basically for if you miss something on an inspection and somebody comes back later and tries to sue you. General liability is for if you break something or if somebody gets hurt on the job. Typically, the cost for insurance is tied directly to the volume of jobs or revenue you're doing. It may start less than a couple $100s a month, and it will go up from there. Now we need to consider marketing. That's basically letting people know that your business exists. This step can feel really overwhelming at first. The key is to just start talking to people and taking action. There are so many ways you can market your business. Some examples are letting your inner circle of friends and family know you've started your business, finding local business networking groups, meeting with real estate professionals, paying for online advertising, meeting with other local home inspectors, and the list goes on and on. And like I said, the key is just starting to take massive action. You also need to begin establishing your systems. This is basically a broad term for how you do things in your business. You will need to decide how you're going to create your inspection reports, how and when you will send your reports, how you're going to schedule your inspections, what your agreements are going to say, and how you'll have your clients sign those agreements. You also need to figure out what kind of payment methods you're going to accept. Your systems certainly could and should evolve and get better over time. It's okay to start with the basics. And throughout this whole process, you'll need to keep in mind the different equipment you'll need to use. Startup costs can vary really widely. Assuming that you have a decent vehicle that's moderately presentable, then you can just focus on your tools and other things. I'd say to plan on $3,000 to $15,000 budget, depending on what types of tools you're going to use. This can depend a lot on if you already have some tools or if you're going to have to get everything from scratch. It also depends if you're going to be adding on additional ancillary services right out of the gate, or if you're just going to be bootstrapping it from the beginning for a while. Either way is okay. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of running your home inspection business. Let's go ahead and start with the cons. One of the first cons is the upfront investment. It can take much longer to gain traction. There's lots of liability. There's non-guaranteed income. You're going to wear all the hats. There's loneliness, and business stops when you're sick, injured, or away. There's no team to carry you. Some of the pros are potentially more freedom and flexibility, more income potential. You can create a model that fits you. You can set your own standards and procedures, and the ability to be more creative.